Here at St. Augustine Friary, our daily life is much of it is spent with our academics. We also have a good amount of time spent as a community, particularly in prayer. Our day begins and ends with community prayer and Mass.
I'd like to say there is no typical day, but we do lead a pretty regimented schedule. I, for one, I'm usually up around 5:30 and come downstairs around 6, read the newspaper, have breakfast, then we come into the chapel, most days around 7:30 for morning prayer, sometimes with morning prayer and Mass.
Normally I wake up about 5 a.m. I'll do an hour and a half of homework, and then I'll get about 30 minutes of prayer and meditation in. And then at about 7:30 in the morning, the community here at St. Augustine Friary, we all gather for common prayer.
Each day we have a regular schedule of prayer, morning and evening prayer, along with daily Mass. We have a regular meal schedule. Some of the meals are very informal, whereas our evening meal is quite formal, and everyone is expected to participate in the house schedule unless there is some conflict with their supervised ministry.
We have breakfast and we visit for a little bit, but then right after that people have class or ministry, and so right away we start moving.
Do some homework, do some reading, get ready for class. In the afternoon, maybe have some gym time, some exercise time, and get ready to come together back in the chapel for evening prayer and then community dinner.
Either evenings are free for some of us, or we have class at 7 o'clock, so it's a pretty full day.
Each of us try and make time for personal prayer, recreation.
The one thing I love the most about being here at St. Augustine Friary is you get a very good balance of everything you need to do. Your mind is nourished every day, your spirit is nourished through studies and our communal life together, and certainly your body is nourished because there's plenty of opportunity to maintain a healthy diet and exercise regularly.
In order to be ordained, we have the Master's of Divinity degree, and we come here to Chicago for Catholic Theological Union, and we begin studying specifically theology and ministry.
Coursework can be anywhere from liturgy to Bible to social justice, spirituality, so that we get a holistic approach to theology.
Oh, we take classes, it's 112 credit hours that we have to do. So we're taking everything from ecclesiology, Christology, scripture classes, ministry practicums, theological reflection groups, courses on sacraments, on the Eucharist, on baptism.
It's an extensive amount of work, including not only the Masters in Divinity general curriculum, and then also presiding and preaching to prepare me for ordination down in the future. I do get sort of a range of biblical studies this semester, as well as the sort of practical skills that are required of being a good minister in the church.
What's fun for me is taking practicum classes. So practicing hearing confessions, practicing celebrating Mass, practicing preaching.
For our second year at CTU, we have a ministry practicum. Some of us are in parishes, some of us are in some social ministries. This year I'm at St. Martin de Porres House of Hope, which is a home for women recovering from addictions.
So my ministry practicum through CTU was working with those with mental illness, and we organized faith and fellowship groups.
Currently, I'm at ministry practicum at St. Xavier University, working in campus ministry. This past year, I've created the men's discussion group that we have on campus. Last semester, I created the interfaith service for Thanksgiving. And then this semester, I'll be doing an ecumenical Stations of the Cross for Holy Week.
Lord, my Savior, everlasting is your mercy.
Temporary profession is an opportunity for a young man who aspires to our way of life to have 3 to 5 years time where their vows are renewable rather than take them for life during the discernment process.
We profess poverty, chastity, and obedience to the prior general of our order for 1 year. And so we continue our discernment by living the vows, seeing how it goes for us.
I just found myself very attracted to the way of life and to the ministerial opportunities. We talk a lot about community and its rightful importance, but it's only in the service of something else that we have this community. And that's service to the church and the evangelization of contemporary culture and the cultivation of studies, as our constitutions talk about practically at the very beginning.
To preach is to really share your heart. And so community life helps us to see how we're doing in our, not only our relationship with others, but our relationship with God.
I think community is really one of the most beautiful aspects of our spirituality. I'm not only sharing life with a great group of guys that have the same faith that I do and walking along the same path, but I'm also enriched by their strengths in areas where I may be weak, and I'm able to enrich them and find joy in ministering to them by sharing my gifts with them as well.